So I think we have the last panel of the day. We do have a fireside chat after this. But I am really grateful and honored to introduce my panel. We are going to talk about next levels to the world of hospitality through MAD, ESG, PACE. And whoever does not know what this is, yeah? Or is it automation? Anyways, I shall call the moderator on stage and he knows best. Mr. Ralph Sunil, can I please have you on stage? Miss Rashmi Koper, please. Ma'am, she's a co-founder and director of 95HM Learning, and Mr. Ankit Chaudhary, CEO Champions Club. Then we have R.S. Dharmendra, the CEO of Gigu Hospitality. Then we have Anisha Anand, the co-founder director of Aurum Foods. And unfortunately, Ms. Abha could not make it today, but we have Mr. Nilesh Gokhale, the regional FM lead at Central Mondelez, India. Looks like a really interesting session. All over to you, sir.
So good afternoon, everybody. For all those who have made it and came to attend this session, thank you and appreciate your interest in taking our hospitality, fraternity and industry to the next levels. So I think all of us require one big round of applause for ourselves. Can we do it a little louder? I would propose that we'll make this panel different and it will not be just Gyan or philosophy. We will have all your interaction also as part of it and we will take it forward. To begin the session, I would just like to introduce the subject. So the subject is in three parts. The first part is the whole concept is how can we take hospitality industry to the next level. Should we take or not take? Yes or no? You can be as free, nobody is looking at us and there is no problem. We are in our family, which I think our larger family, all of us here, let us interact and have some fun. And if you have to add on, add any kind of interesting things as we go along. So we should take our hospitality industry to the next level. So today we have got three tools with us. The first one being MAD, which is nothing but mechanization, automation, digitalization. The second is called ESG, all of you know that, environment, social governance. And the third is PACE. PACE is nothing but in the hospitality industry, how we should improve professionalism, how we should improve attitude, how we should improve competence, and how we should improve empathy. These are the pillars I believe or we believe from the panel that takes hospitality to the next level. So with this as the background, I would like my co-panelists to introduce themselves one by one, short introduction, and then we'll take it on with all of you and all of us to spend the next 45-50 minutes in talking about how we can take hospitality to the next industry. So let's start with the ladies first as usual. Rashmi. Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Rashmi Koper. Am I audible? Yeah. My name is Rashmi Koper. I am the co-founder and director of Adevo Academy, a skill development company based out of Bangalore, focused on the hospitality sector. So we operate through two academies and also conduct extensive training programs, both physical as well as hybrid, across hotels, restaurants, resorts, healthcare, retail, and facility management. In addition to this, we also offer a very, very comprehensive online learning platform, which ensures scalability and provides customized content to our clients. At Adevo, our work primarily lies at the intersection of technical training, soft skills development, and workplace employability. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi. Anisha?
Thank you, Ralph. So my name is Anisha and I am the co-founder director of Aurum Foods. Very
Put a
proud
volume.
to be associated with this industry for the last 2 decades, and now with Aurum Foods, of course, we brainchild Aurum Foods 12 years ago, and very proud to say that it's journeyed from a team of 12 members to now a family of over 700 employees. Proud to be associated with this industry. It not only gave us, what started was a passion of putting out a plate of culinary extravagance. But today it's given us dynamics. We are leading almost 12 kitchens out of Mumbai. And like I mentioned, 700 employees. Also, we have residue-free farms across Mumbai in Solapur. We are running a food innovation technology lab that is today striving to create an archive of traditional flavors, like a library of traditional flavors. Also, we have a CSR initiative, which I will talk briefly about later during the conversation. But yes, this industry gives a lot, and we're here to be conscious deliverers of hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Anisha. Nilesh?
Thanks, Sunil. I am Nilesh Gokhale. I head the facility management vertical for Mondelez, commonly known as Cadbury's. I take care of facility management across AMEA, Africa, Middle East, and Asia Pacific. 33 years in facility management, managing facilities for Microsoft, IBM, Next PLC, and now for the last 10 years for Mondelez. We take care of factories, guest houses, whatsoever you can think of is non-productive in terms of the profit line or the baseline of the company. So very well acquainted with hospitality and good to be associated with it. Thanks Sunil and Sunil for all the opportunities, and we'll take it forward when we talk in the next 30 minutes.
Dharmender?
Hi, I'm Dharmender from Bangalore. I head Gillies chain of resto bars as COO. We have around 12 outlets operational. And this is my first time at World of Hospitality as a speaker. And it's going to be a lovely session. Thank you, Mr. Sunil.
Thank you. Thank you, Dharmender. Ankit?
Hi everyone, this is Ankit Chaudhary. So I started my career as a pilot and great journey in the aviation, and then moved on to hospitality, fortunately. And it's been about 13 years in the hospitality industry. It's been about 10 years. Started my own journey apart from hospitality, got into tourism, got into events and experiences. So yeah, it's been a great journey since then, doing a lot of crazy experiential stuff, and yeah, journey has been onwards and upwards from then. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. Before I introduce myself, just the audience. How many of you from the hotels? Hotel, Hardcore Hotel? Presently? Okay. So there are three. Anybody from any other hospitals or any other areas? Like sirs? From any other area of hospitality? Everybody is here connected to the industry? So hotels was initially the only hospitality window that the fraternity used to see, but today hotels is one vertical, and there are, I don't know, n number of verticals. Even people going to the Mars, there is some hospitality into it. Hospitals, airlines, cruise, aviation, industry, it's gone crazy. My name is Ralph Sunil. I am from IHM 88 batch, Chennai, and I started with the Taj Group as a chef, and after that I joined the corporate industry. And I have been with the corporates now for almost 30 plus years, doing probably all the spectrum that the hospitality industry does. What all you can tell me, I think I have put a finger into everything. Let's say cruise, let's say aviation, let's say hospital, let's say mass catering, let's say cafeteria, industrial catering, many things. And presently I am Senior Vice President with JSW Group, and I take care of a small city with 100,000 people in Vijayanagar, which is about 5 hours from here. So again, welcome to all of you and welcome to the show. So let me open the first session on MAD. I would invite my panelists to speak about M. How many of you think that people versus machines or mechanization, if I ask you what would you prefer, people or machines? Suppose I say people, will you prefer people? How many of you will say yes with me? How many of you will say, okay, less people, more machines? Only one. Great, sir. We'll come back to you. But let's hear from the panelists what they feel about using MAD, mechanization, automation, digitalization, to take the industry to the next level. Nilesh, you'll start.
Sure, Sunil, thank you. So, with MAD, I would have a little contradictory statement here. I would start with saying artificial intelligence is no match to natural stupidity. We need to have that natural stupidity, that human touch, to be hospitable, right? And that natural stupidity brings it all in. Your machines can be taught one way of looking at things, and that's where I believe the human touch is very important. Machinization is definitely important, and it is an integral part of the industry today. It is not only because of the shortfall of manpower, but also because of the efficiencies that we are seeking in. That's where machinization is very important. Many tasks today are automated because of AI and intuitive AI coming in. Your cleaning, your standards of cleaning, the intuitive AI is able to tell you or tell the principles as to where and when is a point of failure, which probably the artificial intelligence is good at. Human stupidity can't help. So automation becomes equally important, but machinization to me is second in the row. I believe my friend has
Dharmen?
already some say for it.
Yeah,
Thank
Dharmen.
you. So, in our industry, so where we operate chain of resto bars, we look at maximum automation to ensure our manpower is reduced. See, compared to other fine dining restaurants or any other standalone restaurants, the bar business starts in the evening. So I can't have optimum manpower and then manage. So we are looking for solutions where yes, mechanization helps to reduce manpower. At the same time, if mechanization is there, if I don't have the right manpower to drive it, again we are stuck. And we have seen this. We have implemented a robo cleaner. Suddenly, if it stops working, where do I go? Okay, luckily in Bangalore we have this urban company or of these. And in places, in remote places where they don't have resource, suddenly, what do? So I feel both are required, but it has to be a planned way of taking this. Otherwise, you are stuck. Business is stuck. Now we tried one cocktail machine, where entire cocktail is made from the machine. We did a pilot for almost 3 months. Worked superb. Within 1 week of operations, it stopped working. It's a China-made machine. I was stuck. I didn't have a mixologist. Where do I go at these situations? And we are looking at this going forward, provided this is Make in India, service is optimum. Like, I was just reading one article where Koreans have made these machinery, which is just plug in. It comes with a gear. Any part which malfunctions, just remove and just plug in and lock it. Lock and unlock, something like the Japanese technology. That is what will work. Otherwise, in India, if you have to get mechanization into, especially our resto bar industry, I think it will take another 5 years or so.
Okay, great. Dharmender, Ankit?
So I believe automation is required. It's required to avoid a lot of leakages.
Can all of you hear? Sound is coming? Okay. Thank you.
It's required to avoid a lot of leakages that happen in the industry in many ways. Our industry is a very human-driven industry, and hence there are a lot of ways that leakages can happen, and automation really helps. If you talk about, let's say, in the event industry, the large concerts, 10 years ago versus now, there's so much of automation has come in, right from your ticketing to your bands and to all of those things, even to AI face recognitions and AI cameras and everything, is really helping in, avoiding any illegal activities, avoiding any illegal entries and all of those things. So I think automation is definitely needed. But having said, yes, the human touch is always important, and the emotions is something which is of a high priority in our country. So automation can't really take over everything until there is emotional intelligence that comes in.
Great, great, Ankit. Anisha?
So yes, a lot of great insight and learning here from Nilesh and Ankit. I reckon with this, I think technology should not be limited to just your televisions and your latest mobile gadget. If it's here to stay, we might as well get used to it. And what I've realized it over the years, we need to navigate through all that is available and make the most of it. So how we use digitization and automation is, in our smart kitchens. Yes, it's really great. It keeps consistency in terms of storage and facilities. It also allows us to manage our inventories very well, because it's just a click away. I know exactly how much of what I have in my store, which is very essential. Apart from that, I think it's not here to replace the human touch of hospitality, at least not in India yet, because we are known as pioneers of hospitality, and that spirit it still lies in the warmth with how you serve the dish. So I think India, in terms of that traditional vibe for hospitality, is going to remain, going to go the human way. But again, to sum it up, I feel digitization and automation needs to be an integral part of your progress, and it's here to stay, so might as well make it your best friend.
Thank you, Anisha. Rashmi?
Like I mentioned before, my company is named Adevo. Adevo is a distillation of Atithi Devo Bhava, okay, the essence of hospitality. Now, I would like to speak about MAD in the context of the digitization bit, in the context of online learning platforms, okay? So, all of us here in hotels and hospitality know that training is best served when it is done physically, face to face, right? But if you have a robust hybrid system, or a robust system where the training is dispensed online, what does it do? Number one, you can have consistency in training. Whether you have one outlet or you have 100 units, so you can ensure that the training is consistent. There is a structured approach. You can build in objective assessments. You can download recipe cards and handouts. You can customize the content as per the learner, or as per the requirement of the customer. And if you build in AI, where you can translate it to the learner's language, and also to the learner's learning ability or pace, then you can work wonders with an online platform, right? And I'm happy to share that our online platform does all of that. And we have, in fact, an internal team that, right from the process of collecting data, to storyboarding it, to creating content, shooting, customizing it, is done all in-house. So that is how I think digitization can take today the training to the next level, especially if you can scale it up. So it doesn't matter if you have 1 unit or 100 units, you can ensure that the content or the training is disseminated to everyone at the same time, regardless of where they are. All it needs is internet connectivity, which is, in these days, absolutely no issue. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I think I'll have to tell a few things on this. So I'll start with my experiences. I'm sure people from the hotel who are sitting here, we have front office, we have the kitchens, we have the food and beverage, we have housekeeping, we have maintenance. Now, these are the main 5 areas of the hotel industry. Let's take it as an example. When we started in 1980s, there used to be a Whitney system. I don't know, you know how they used to pull out a rack, Whitney rack, and used to pull out every single room number and a reservation coupon from the counter. Today what happens? Your reservation slip comes with a QR code on your phone. And the experience is just simple, smooth, exhilarating, and the guest becomes overwhelmed by the technology. So technology is definitely a thing to stay. For example, the kitchens you take. Oh, those days we used to cut, I still remember, I used to go at 8 o'clock in the morning, and when I come out at 9 o'clock in the evening, I finished maybe 20 sacks of onions peeling and cutting. I don't know if anybody has done that. You have done? So, this used to be the kitchen. Today, no need. All these 30 sacks of onions can be cut with mechanization in less than 45 minutes. I'm sure some of you would have seen this, some of you would have heard of this. Same for everything. We used to do fish fillets whole days. We used to cut, peel prawns for the whole days. I have cleaned tons and tons of prawns. We used to do so many things in the kitchen that were not mechanized. Today, mechanization has taken, and uniformity, standardization, quality has gone to the next level. I'm sure all of you using apps like Meetigo, Licious, Blinkit, Flipkart, Pluck, all are mechanized produce that comes up. So mechanization is a thing to stay everywhere. Even your air conditioning today in a airport or in a hall like this is completely mechanized without very less human touch. So I'll tell you example of a hotel that I got to hear about in Macau. You know where Macau is? It's off Hong Kong. It's a 750 room hotel, the Le Méridien in Macau. I'm talking about 20 or 15 years ago. When we went there, I asked the engineering, how do you take care of such a big hotel? So they said, we have only 7 staff. 7 staff to take care of the hotel, and every single bulb, every single AC, every single washroom was connected to the BMS. Anything happened, the BMS will get an alert. Only 7 people used to go there and take care of the 700 room hotel, which made the experience great, and every guest was customized to the room. I'm just telling you examples. I can go on say, like I used to work at the airports. In Delhi, to measure, if you go to Delhi airport, I'm sure many of you have gone to Delhi airport. Or Bangalore airport. If you go to the international T2 in Bangalore airport or T3 in Delhi, you will see temperature is the same all over anytime you go. 99%. You know how many sensors are operating in T3 Delhi to give guest experience? Anybody guess? Just tell a number. How many sensors manage the air conditioning? Just tell a guess. 800. Okay, anybody else? Just take a wild guess. How many sensors manage the air conditioning? Just tell, 500? 500,000. 5 lakhs. Okay. So in T3 alone, we have 36,000 sensors taking care of the air conditioning automated. That is the level of automation. So you'll never feel cold in extra cold, or you'll never feel warm, extra warm during summer and winter. So that is the kind of way the industry is going in. And digitalization has changed the world, because today if you go to a restaurant, before what we used to do, if you are from the hotels, KOT hota tha. You remember the KOT? We used to write on that fellow, if he puts in his pocket, your table order will never come. Today what happens, you can see many stalls here, and just punch it, it directly goes to the kitchen. And then press 1 second, if you ask him for a check or the bill on your table, it hardly takes 10 seconds for the bill to come on your table, yes or no? This is the power of, this is taking our hospitality to the next level. So there are many things that are required to be done to take our hospitality industry to the next level through mechanization, automation and digitalization, which I think all of you can join together and you can read lot of things on the internet, on the magazines, on the activities, and including in this arena, and help to take it to the next level. Because all said and done, personalization will never go because we are best in the world. But even personalization becomes much more effective assisted by man. This is what we wanted to tell in our first segment. Anybody wants to add a word or two? Or any questions on this? Or any plus, minus you want to add your experience from the audience? Anybody? Or you think this is not relevant or you want to say something? Anybody can join. Feel free, please raise your hand, we'll call you. I will go to the second round of ESG. So I'll ask my panel to participate in this, to talk about 3 elements in the hospitality industry, not in a corporate industry or manufacturing, especially in the hospitality industry. How environment, social and governance plays a key role, and how we can take that to the next level. So shall we start with the ladies this time? Manisha, we can start with you, and you can say how to make a difference
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
hospitality industry using all these techniques.
Thank you, Ralph. Yeah, so, I represent Aurum Foods today, so I will keep that in mind as I answer this. So, for us, these 3 acronyms, MAD, ESG, and PACE, are not just, acronyms, like I said. It's you need to use it, imbibe it like a mantra. And like hospitality has no limits, and it takes flight with the smallest of ideas that come into your head. One such idea was, my fellow co-founder, Anant. He always used to complain every time we used to eat something, like for instance, a tomato. Let's take a tomato as a reference. He used to just say that there's no flavor, it's just like a pulpy fruit. Where's the flavor? Where's that, the taste of a tomato is no longer there. And we discussed about it. We did a little bit of R&D, and we realized that it goes down to the farms. It goes down to the chemicals that are being used to treat the farms, the fertilizers, and all the hundreds and thousands of sprays that they soak that plant in. It alters the cells, it alters the DNA of that whole fruit. It could have been left as just a casual conversation, but we actually, took initiative, and because we did so much of research, we decided why not we try to change it. Why not? It's one thing to come here and talk about something, but why not make a change and do something about it? So that's when we used technology and bettered the plantations. And in our farms, we are today using residue-free farming technology. And trust you me, the first lot of tomatoes that came out actually took us back to childhood. It was the exact, it may not look perfect, but it tastes absolutely like how a tomato should. So again, coming back to that, we as delivers of hospitality need to be making conscious decisions. We need to realize that to leave a positive carbon footprint is really, really important. No matter, yes, that tomato might cost you 5 rupees extra when you buy it per kilo. But at the same time, you are making a difference. You're creating a difference in your daily decision in terms of leaving a positive carbon footprint, in terms of creating livelihood for farmers who are engaging in the age-old technologies. Does not mean that we are not using innovation there. Our farms are fully automatic. We do have, but yet they are led by agriculturists who believe in non-residue farming. So that is how we made a difference in environment. Apart from that, when you come back to the kitchen, to the daily activities, it's everything. How your waste generation. How do you dispose of your waste in the kitchen? How do you dispose of the black oil that is left after series of multiple weddings that you cater to? So that itself, that is again, we need to make conscious environmental decisions and use facilities that inculcate a positive towards environment. Thank you.
Great. Ankit?
So I'll give you an example. So it's event industry is now acting a lot towards sustainability and being environment friendly and being socially responsible as well. So I'll give you an example. This happened. So we're doing a wedding, a monsoon wedding, right? So the parents and the family was all crazy about let's do a nice rain dance since it's monsoon and it's gonna be. If it rains, it's good. If it doesn't rain, it's gonna be very hot. So let's do a nice rain dance party by the poolside and everything. And the kids were like, no, we don't want to waste water. We don't want to, go against the environment. We don't want to do all of these things. Let's just do a simple pool party. And in that fight, we came up with an idea, and actually thanks to the client only that we came up with that idea that why don't we do a rain dance in the pool? So we came up with the whole idea of using the kids' pool as a dance floor and doing a whole rain dance around it. Take the water from the pool, put it back to the pool, so it's just circulating over there. And so I think that's going to be our most eco-friendly rain dance pool party ever that we're going to do. So we ourselves has to come up with a lot of such innovative ideas on how we can be more sustainable, be more environment friendly, and do the same events in different ways by keeping Mother Earth in the whole consciousness. I would also have a proposal, so in India, the carbon footprint knowledge is not there much yet compared to the Western countries, and also carbon footprints have certain regulations, and the benefits can only be to the property owners and something like that. So I think if the hotels come up and take the initiative of acquiring those carbon footprint credits by help of event companies and who follow sustainability and who help in reducing carbon footprints and extending some benefits and some offers to such event companies who are pro in reducing carbon footprints, that's going to be a big hit is what I believe. And I think hotels should take that initiative in that.
Great, Ankit. That was a nice round from you. Rashmi, you want to add on this?
I would like to speak about governance.
Yeah, sure.
Ram. Again, this is from our learnings. It is said that any organization without governance is like a ship without compass. You are directionless in calm waters and completely helpless in storms. So what does governance do? It basically gives you credibility and clarity. So we found that when the organization is small, things are more or less fine. But when they scale up, that is when issues arise. You can no longer take ad hoc decisions or not rely on processes. So when you're operating with 3 or 4 units or a larger number of units, what happens is if you do not have a robust governance mechanism in place, things can really get derailed. It is all good to say that, leaders should be hands-on and all that. But, when it comes to the actual processes, what have you created? An organization cannot function without your presence. You have not delegated, so you have not created a second level leadership. So if you don't have, creating governance requires a lot of, patience and discipline. But once you have that in place, your employees, you can inculcate ownership and accountability. Otherwise, we find that the employees in an organization either work in silos or are driven by, a reactionary mindset and have no ownership and accountability. So this is what we think the importance of having a good, effective governance in place.
Very good, Rashmi. That's very, very important. Dharmendra?
I'd like to share a small story. There's this school called Kendriya Vidyalaya in Malleshwaram. There, right from 4th to 5th standard, the children are taught what's a way to dispose wet garbage, dry garbage. And the entire classroom is made of recycled Tetra Paks and the plastic collected from that school, even till today. And it's going to be one of the groundbreaking thing in this industry. Because starting from a basic school, like Kendriya Vidyalaya is implementing this. There's so many hundreds of thousands of hotels, restaurants who are yet to implement a lot of things like this. And I think, as Ankit was telling, training is one of the most important thing. Like for example, I'll give you, we were consuming almost 1,000 beer bottles on a weekend. And disposing of these beer bottles, empty bottles, was a big pain. Garbage guy will not come and the piles, and I mean that used to rodent infestation, all these things were there. Then we overnight decided we'll go for only beer cans, 500 ml cans, which can be crushed and stored properly and disposed neatly. When we implemented this, even the breweries came like, "Arey, you're serving beer in tin, in cans, that in a nightclub. No, people will not like." I said, it's okay. But today's generation and the Gen Z, they are looking for sustainability. They are getting trained and they're getting coached in schools and colleges that you have to start. The Gen Z today will look for either vegan, what sustainability materials are we using, how are we recycling, everything. They're very, very of all these things. So I think the way forward is ESG. I mean, everybody has to contribute.
Great. That's a nice story, how we can shift material into more sustainable use of sustainable material. Nilesh, over to you.
Thanks, Sunil. I would like to take a step back on the ESG story because the sustainability is an offspring of environment and proper governance, and building on all what the panel said. How we can build on the sustainability thing. I have a small story to tell you here. This comes from a country, I cannot call out the name for confidentiality reasons. A food factory and a thermal power station were based in adjacent plots. The food factory used steam to melt chocolate to make, from solid chocolate to make better forms of chocolate. The thermal power station used heat to boil water, create steam and generate electricity. The laborers and the farmers nearby used to interrupt the factory repeatedly because the power plant was government and the factory was private. Now, what the locals were protesting was the soot that comes out of the factory or the boiler of the factory and was spoiling the crops. Whereas soot was coming out even from the thermal power plant. Again, being socially aware, and this relates to using the material resources properly, what hospitality teaches us is also empathy. A very fantastic gentleman walked into the factory to see survey, and he realized that after power generation, the steam is released into the atmosphere. Whereas the factory, the chocolate factory, was using boiler to boil water, create steam to melt chocolate. They went into an agreement with the plant, the power plant, to buy steam from them, decommissioned the boiler, zero soot coming out of the chimneys. The steam was brought in from the adjacent plot, so 50% emission reduced. The steam which was wasted in the air was being used by the chocolate factory to melt solid chocolate without any investment in the boiler, because the boiler eats up a lot of fuel, lot of solid fuel. Boilers decommissioned, no water wasted. In fact, the food factory was getting distilled water 24/7 because all the steam which was coming in from the thermal plant after melting the chocolate was distilled to make water, or distilled water, which was the purest form of water. Resources used in optimal way. The same water was serving three purposes. So I believe this is a classic example where empathy with locals or empathy with the generations can help us build a sustainable future.
Great, Nilesh, that was a great story. So reuse of all waste is a great sense to ESG. So my little take on ESG, how many of you travel by Vande Bharat? Vande Bharat, no? No? Not yet. Okay, very few people. Not all of you didn't travel Vande Bharat? Okay, how many of you traveled 15 years ago by aeroplane? 15 years ago. Air India. We should not speak Air India, is it? We can speak. I work for Air India. I started the Air India SATS kitchen in India. So when 15, 20 years ago, when the airline industry was going, or the Vande Bharat train industry was there, you would see in trains lot of plastic food served in trays which were plastic containers. Air India used to have melamine ware, pink color. If you remember, people who traveled before, and even other airlines like Jet used to have white color bowls. But today, the experience has changed, improved, much better with non-use of non-degradable material. And they serve millions of people every day. For example, the Vande Bharat is a enhanced experience. For example, if you go to hotels, before we used to get soap bar, you know, and one shampoo pouch or a shampoo bottle, and then one lotion, and then one shower gel. Chota chota milta tha pehle. Today, the best hotels in the world don't give any more soap bars, or they don't give sachets, or they don't give bottles. They only give dispensing liquids in large jars kept in the bathrooms in a very presentable manner. So the liquid is used and can be completely safe, environmentally good, and wastage is completely removed. So you can go on saying many things, like he talked about how waste is being recycled. So environment plays a very big role, especially in our industry, because we generate a lot of things that can be recycled, reused, reduced, and the next level to take hospitality industry is to bring environment. If you go to hotels, you can see towels today can be reused. Before one point of time, if the same towel was kept in the room, the guest would become very angry. But today you go to any hotel, there's a small tag near your bed saying that if you don't want to, if you can use the towel the next day, please tell us, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure all of you know all this water usage. So the world is changing into, the purpose of this forum is each one of you should be aware of the area that you are working and bring the ESG to the next level. Social, for example, diversity in the industry. We can bring a lot of diversity because the ratio should become very good and the strengths of each gender should be used very good. I'll tell you a story. In one of the coastal Gujarat large companies that was there, I'll not tell you the company's name, you may guess it. It was a port company. There were 10,000 plus meals being served every day. 10,000 meals served in the canteens every day. But every day problem happened that roti was not good. Gujarat roti, you know that roti is like a fulka, was not good. Some roti used to be like Australia, some used to be like, Sri Lanka, some used to be different shapes, and some were papad, some were rubbery, blah, blah, blah. So this company, we discussed, and what happened is, the company people found a way, one of the smart chaps found a way, went to the local villages and found out what is the resource available. And they were thinking, when 10,000 people are working in the plant, what are the women doing? So when they went and found out, all these women were in their small houses playing tash, and they were playing gambling during the day. So they went and spoke to them and convinced them and brought them. To make it short, ultimately these ladies came to make these rotis in this company, and within no time, the rotis were the softest, the rotis were the tastiest, the rotis were the hottest, and the rotis were the perfect shape, and the 10,000 people, if it was 80% complaint, it became 80% appreciation. So social part, the many things can come into the social part, including taking care of so many variety of demography of people, staff, guests, and all the stakeholders, vendors, everybody. So social is very important. Governance, what Rashmi said, is the way to go ahead. All of you know IRCTC? Can we make a gucha and making a ticket booking in the railways? I can challenge anybody in this country. You cannot make a gucha. You cannot, there's no hanky-panky in making a ticket booking with the IRCTC. How many tickets they make per day? Huh? Crores. crores of tickets per day. Tatkal you want, it's well governed. You want RAC, it's well governed. You cannot. Before, how we used to do when we were small, udhar jaake itna paisa de do, isko pata hai, you told him, especially, of course, now there is a EQ quota that can be released, which is a privilege to the railway. But in general, governance has changed the name of the largest railway industry in the world just by governance. Same in your areas, all of you have little power, more power, less power, bring governance with lot of automation. I tell this story in most of my forums. When we used to go to banks, to remove our money nowadays, we used to be scared of the teller. We used to give him a note and then he will give a coin. Our money, to take it out, we will be scared. But today ATMs have changed with full governance. So this is the way we should change our hospitality industry in the next way, using ESG as a forefront to make our industry, because many industries, including the medical fraternity, including the engineering section, including the space area, including lot of sectors, have used this to bring themselves to the next stage. So keeping this segment, we'll move to the last segment of PACE, which is professionalism, attitude, competence and empathy. So who would like to start? Rashmi? Anybody wants to add on ESG? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Anant Kumar. I'm a co-founder with Anisha. Apart from the food company, I also run an environment company. And what Ankit was mentioning was the carbon footprint and the carbon score. So now we are working very closely with the government on establishing a carbon score for every individual, every enterprise, every company. And going forward, when you'll see that if people who are conscious about environment and the carbon footprint will get a few basis point less on debts they want to raise, it'll be similar to a CIBIL score. So today when you go and see, there's a CIBIL score basis which you start getting your debts, the interest rate and things like that. Carbon credits and carbon footprint is going to be another important factor going forward to see that your interest rates, your personal stores and things like that are going to happen. So everything that you all are doing towards environment, please keep marking those points or get some good consultant to do a carbon marking, carbon score for you. This is going to help you in the long run.
Anant. Anant, thank you very much for chipping in. That's a great addition to measure. Smart way of working is always measure and then you'll go. So let's go to the last topic because I got a chip now. I don't know who sent it. They said 10 minutes, please wrap up. So we are, Stina, how are you? Stina and me started this 3 years ago and she and me had a fireside chat. Give me few minutes more, okay? So we'll wrap up the last thing of professionalism, attitude, competence and empathy.
Thanks Sunil. So building on what Anand said, unfortunately we are in a country where the government has to come up with something called EPRs and so on and so forth. If we have the right attitude, if we go with the right attitude, and let me call out, I know a couple of companies who are currently buying more plastic from the market than they are putting in the market. And that's the responsibility we show. But it also depends on how the leadership is. This was as of 2024. 2025, the leadership changed and said, sorry, the EPR says X amount you put in the market, buy X amount. So it is more of the pace, what we call. It is more into the attitude, professionalism. Where we start is what we need to maintain, even if you are above the benchmark. So yeah, it's more in the attitude, it's more in the culture, and it's more of professionals like us who need to bring it to that level. Sorry, I know that the note did reach me, so I'll pause here, pass it on to Anisha.
Okay, so we're talking about empathy, we're talking about gratitude. It's all it goes hand in hand with hospitality, I would say. I want to share this little episode, we have Tapris in Mumbai. Tapri is a tea stall, a roadside tea stall in Mumbai, where, you occasionally go and have that nice, sweet, sugary tea. And it was during one such incident where we were just speaking to the owner of the food cart, and he was telling us his life journey and how, he's the third generation who's making tea and selling tea and khari toast, and, everybody from the nearby offices used to come, and he was a favorite of many. So during that interaction, Anant and I, we were just having a conversation, and we were like, why should this food cart be just limited to snacks and tea, Why can it not be a module wherein we give livelihood and provide livelihood to millions and millions? And I'm so proud to share this little platform that is it's a project that's very dear to me. And today we have 100 such food carts which we are tied up with an NGO in Pune, Advita. And they are going to be handing out these 100 food carts to lesser privileged women. And not only do we limit it to the infrastructure of a cart, we actually mentor them. We give them a 1-week training on how to sustain their livelihood, how to take this beyond that initial excitement of just running a food cart. And it's been such a wonderful journey, and immense gratitude for being able to provide that source of livelihood for these, lesser privileged women. So, I just wanted to share this one story with you. Just a small idea can take seed and give you wings and lead you to the dreams of many. So hospitality that way is really, really very empowering. So yes.
Great, Anisha. That was great sharing. Ankit?
So again, in our industry, each of this letter P, A, C, E is of a great value, and it's the base of our industry, right? So be it professionalism, be it attitude, be it competency or empathy. So like professionalism, of course, is definitely much needed, especially in today's time when professionalism actually is become a way to show that how passionate you are, because there's a lot of competition that has come in, there's a lot of unprofessionalism has come in the industry. It's a true fact, but which has to be controlled and taken over. So again, we do events, we do social events, we do private socials, we do corporates. Be it any type of events, you need that right attitude, you need that competency to understand your client, what exactly they need. Be it a product launch, how do they want to showcase the product, how they want to present the product in front of their potential clients and buyers. Or be it a wedding, so wedding needs the most empathy, it's the most emotional thing to the family, the most emotional milestone event in their lifetime, right? So I'll give you an example, like again, a lot of this last couple of years, rains have been very unpredictable, and there have been monsoons and the rains happened in November, December, ruining a lot of weddings. Not just in the south part, but in western part of the India as well. So a lot of stories came up in our industry during those times that, oh, this wedding got ruined and they could not do anything. It was a milestone, dream wedding gone to trash and all of those things. Simultaneously, a lot of good things came up where the right attitude was there, and the team did their extra effort of shifting the whole wedding from an outdoor wedding to an indoor wedding, even in the month of November and December, just to ensure that the best moment of the particular couple doesn't get ruined because of unpredictable rains. So that empathy, that attitude is very, very important, and that's how you build your relation with your client. So I think it's the base of any industry, our industry for sure.
Great, Ankit. That was nice story, and really this will take the hospitality to next level if you have, and you rightly said, professionalism is coming down because of commercialization. So it's very important that professionalism remains there. Commercialization should go side by side, but not at the cost of professionalism. Thank you. Rashmi?
So Adevo Academy, in conjunction with JSW Foundation, conducts training programs for youth with underprivileged background. And most of these students have zero knowledge about the hospitality industry, cannot speak a word of English, and some of them have not even stepped into hotels. So when a training program is structured on the elements of PACE, seasoned with soft skills like confidence building and communication, it does absolutely wonders. And it's such a joy to see these students transform in those 3 months. Extremely rewarding. So that goes to show that training programs which are built on the ethos of PACE, driven with empathy, can transform non-traditional candidates into driven, bright hospitality professionals. Thank you.
Great. Just to add to your point, we recruit almost 300 to 500 employees from a foundation called Gyan Jyoti in Guwahati. And this is an organization where they pick up tribals from across Northeast. They skill them for 3 to 6 months across all the departments, whether it is kitchen, whether it is cleaning, whether it is your bar mixology, or even how to take calls, how to attend the front desk operations. So we pick them up because they are getting coached right from scratch. They cover all the pace, all these things, all the points. They're getting skilled, and it's such a easy way to give them that first step to enter a hospitality industry. And I feel we have to implement this across India. Why only Northeast? And the government is sponsoring this, which in South India, if I check with any of our skill development corporation, they're not aware. And the people who are doing this in Northeast, they get funded by the government. And I mean, it's very unfortunate hospitality industry status is not there in India. We are like, though one day if we stop working, the whole country shuts down. Whether it is IT, whether it's automobile, take any industry, everybody depends on hospitality. But somebody should take this initiative and demand for a industry status. There's no ministry. Everybody is struggling in their own field. So I feel this is a way of hospitality industry.
Great. So let me summarize the last pace for all of you, and maybe you can add, and that will end the program. So pace is so very important. Professionalism is very important. Let's say you go to Oberoi Hotel and you ask for a silver service to be done for chai, tea. How many from the hotel industry, how many elements should be served in that tray on the table? How many elements is required to serve tea? Guess a number. If you want to serve tea, kitna cheese chahiye? How many items should be there? Like one is cup, one is saucer. How many? Anybody knows by heart? How many? Give me a number. 8, okay. Anybody else? Professionalism. 13 items are required to serve a tea. 1, 3. Okay, offline I'll tell you. This is my regular question in all my interviews when people come from the industry. Exactly, again, for all the gentlemen and the ladies who are here, have you had Bloody Mary? You know what is Bloody Mary? It's a cocktail. How many elements for Bloody Mary? This is professionalism. So 11 items for Bloody Mary. I'll never forget. I learned it maybe 35 years ago. All the basics should know. If you serve from the right, serve from the left. If you go to McDonald's, professionalism. There is a cover, there's a branding, there's a chips of the same size, blah, 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 blah. So that's why McDonald's is on the top of the world. So professionalism is very much required in our industry. Otherwise, we'll slide down, slide down, slide down. And ultimately, like, it will become any man's game and there'll be no speciality to it. Like, for example, in how the medical industry, every street now there's a doctor. Now sometimes we are scared also to go to which doctor and what will happen. Same like that in attitude. You may go to the best restaurant possible, best restaurant in Bangalore or in India, wherever. But I can tell you, you went happily. Best food also. Best food. if the attitude of the waiter and the staff is not good, it will spoil your entire meal. Agree, not agree? Everybody agree with me? If you don't have good attitude, I'm just telling a small activity, attitude. Competence, we require competence. Competence means you should know your subject, you should know what to do. Housekeeper should know how to strip a floor, how to polish a floor. A kitchen person should know what is a garnish. If it's a roast pork or it's a tandoori paneer tikka, what is to be put in that? So this should be the competence that's required in the industry. And last is empathy. You should feel for the other person. You go to many places, there's no feeling for the other person. Hospitality, Aditi Deva Bhava. The guest comes in from a hot place and you're going to give him a hot environment. There is no hospitality. So we should look at it. I'll finish by telling two small incidents. All these four, I found a boy. He must be about 23, 24 when he came to me. He was a simple salesman in the lifestyle store. Have you gone to the lifestyle store? He came to me. I took him on in my company at around 4, 5, 6 lakh salary. That's about 50,000, less than 50,000. And we trained him. He didn't know anything about the industry or the professionalism or the hospitality industry or anything. We trained him. He got into professional training by his own skill. He had the right attitude. He had built his own competence by studying and getting degrees and going above and above and above. And at the last of it, he was managing almost a 20,000 people campus with lot of empathy, which made him grow. And the boy from the lifestyle store, who was just a salesman like all of us go, today is the global director administration for Arco Labs, which is a big pharma company which is present in 14 countries, 7 countries and 14 locations in India. And his salary has gone above more than 50 lakhs. He is sitting in this room without hair. That much I can tell you. So pace can take an individual to the next level and bring you to the next level of hospitality if all of us put ourselves together. So the person is none other than Senthil Kumar, who's sitting here. He manages lots of areas. And the same way, there's a small boy who joined us, who's sitting behind today, right from the CM of this state to the highest level of this state. Respect the hospitality of this person, because every time CM comes to our campus and all the dignitaries who come, look for this simple boy who joined us without anything but with pace. He has become the most, he's called the Annadatta of Vijayanagar. Sitting there is Kashinath, behind. So these are experiences that can take hospitality industry to the next world. So with this, I will stop. And Sina is already looking at me. So we will close this. But I will tell you, be it MAD, be it ESG, be it PACE, whatever you bring into this world, human touch is the most important thing, because the question is, can the microwave oven replace your mother's cooking? Yes or no? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being patient. And let's continue this journey of taking hospitality to the next levels. To these 3 acronyms that you will remember, put it back into practice. Thank you to all the panel members for being with us. And thank you for being here and making this session wonderful. And we also loved bringing it to you. Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Rao Sunil, for your insightful discussion. You have always been at this expo for many years now, so thank you. May I invite, we would like to give you a small, all of you all a small memento from our side. I invite my team member, Mr. Satish Dange, to do the honors. So, Ms. Rashmi Kopar. Can we have a round of applause for them? Ms. Rashmi Kopar. Mr. Ankit Chaudhary. Oh God. Ms. Rashmi Kopar. Mr. Ankit Chaudhary. Miss Anisha Anand. Miss Anisha Anand. Mr. Nilesh Gokhale. And Mr. Dharmendra. And last but not least, Mr. Ralph Sunil, without whom this panel would not have been possible. Thank you, sir, for your support to World of Hospitality Expo every year. Can we have a group picture, okay, after we, yeah. Please come forward. You can hold your trophies. No, one for the magazine. One for the magazine. Sir, you need to come this side. You can collect the boxes for your plaques from here so that it will be easier to carry home.